Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and this is my January TBR. So, welcome to the first TBR of 2021. Here's to hoping that this year is better than last. But let's get into my game. So every month I play a game where I choose my TBR and I pick 5 books. So I use these little cards and they have prompts written on them. I lay out 20 of them and I use a random number generator to choose 5. And those 5 prompts are how I pick my TBR for that month. I do have some rules though. One of them is that if I land on the same number twice, so say I get prompt number 19 and then prompt number 19 comes back up in the rolls, then I will add an extra book on. And another rule normally is that if I don't finish books from the previous month's TBR, they automatically get added. However, since it is a new year, I am scrapping all of the books that were left on my December TBR and I am starting fresh and starting new, and we will see how it goes. But without further ado, let's get into the rolls. Roll number 1, 18. So plant on the cover, so any book with a plant on a cover. And that will be replaced with baby pick. So if that comes up, I will put a treat down and see what the cat picks. So roll number 1 was plant on the cover. So this is any book that's on my shelf that has a plant on the cover. And for this book, I picked Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, and as you can see, it has some trees on the cover there, and so it fits the prompt. But this is a book about basically the suburbs in this town where everything kind of goes as planned and every family is like perfect, but one day this woman moves in with her teenage daughter and they don't want to conform to the rules, and so everything kind of gets blown up and there's all this drama and all kinds of stuff like that, and I'm super excited to get to read this one. It is also a Hulu original series. It was adapted into a TV show, so maybe if I enjoy the book I will watch the series, so that will be fun. But yeah, this is the first book on my January TBR. Roll number 2, 9. Roll the dice, and this will be replaced with purple. So the second roll for this month is roll the dice. So I've never actually had this prompt before, but I'm excited that I'm finally getting to do it. So the way that I do this prompt is I have 6 shelves with books on them, and so I use a 6-sided die to pick the shelf, and then I have approximately 10 books on every one of those shelves. So then I use my D10 dice to choose the book, and I pre-film my rolls, and so I already know every book on this TBR before I'm filming this, except for this one. So I'm kind of worried that it might be like, you know, kind of large or maybe something that I don't really want to read, but you'll get to find out right along with me what we're reading. So let's get into it. I don't have a flat surface where I can like easily like show the camera that I'm rolling, so you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm rolling this dice, and I'm gonna go over there to my desk and roll it. So I will be back in just a short minute. So I rolled both dice and the 6-sided dice was 3, so that means we're going for the 3rd bookshelf, and the 10-sided dice landed on 6, so we will be doing book 6 on shelf number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The book that the dice have picked for me this month is The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So this book, I haven't really heard much about it like in the booktube community, but I don't know how old it is. I found it in a secondhand bookshop and I thought it looked kind of interesting, so I picked it up. Oh, it's not that old. It was published in 2017, so I'm surprised I haven't heard more about this. but it sounds pretty good. So it's about a girl who is living in this society where when they come of age, they start having to go to all these balls, and their main goal is to find a suitable husband. And she has reached that age, so she's excited to finally get to find her place in society and get to dress up in fancy gowns and go to this ball with her tutor and just have the time of her life and find the love of her life. And she has telekinetic powers, and when they are discovered, she is basically taken under the wing of this magician guy, and she really has to spend this book trying to figure out what his intentions are and if they're good or if they're bad and what she wants to do. And so yeah, it sounds like a fun time. It's not that long, so it should be a pretty fast, fun read. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Also, this cover is beautiful. That shade of green is just gorgeous. But yeah, this is book 2 on my January TBR. Roll number 3, 4, person on the cover. So any book with a person on the cover. And this will be replaced with Treat Yourself. Roll number 3 was person on the cover. So this is any book that has a person on the cover. And for this prompt, I chose Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. So this book was actually on my December TBR. I just did not get around to reading it, but it is a Viking story following a girl who thinks her brother is dead. However, one day she goes into battle against this like other clan basically, and her brother is on the other side of the war. And she's like, whoa, you're still alive, but I'm fighting you and I don't understand. And so she's trying to deal with all these like thoughts and complex things, and I'm sure it's filled with drama and just family like relationships and stuff like that. I'm also super excited because it's a Viking story, and I haven't really read very many Viking stories. I don't think I've read any Viking stories actually, and I'm excited to get to go into this kind of mythology and time period, and it just sounds like so much fun, like such a great time. And so this is the 3rd book on my January TBR. Roll number 4, 18. That is baby pick, and that is also a double, so we will be adding an extra roll at the end. And that will be replaced with AJ pick. Okay, so the 4th roll was baby pick. So this is a roll where I pick one book off of each of my 6 shelves that I want to read, and I lay them out and I put treats on each of them, and then I let my cat choose which one I'm going to read. I've never done this before either, so this is just a TBR full of new things, which is great because it's January of 2021, so it's the first one. Why not try out some new things? But this is fun. I am gonna cut into me laying out the treats now, so here we go. So we have Anxious People by Frederick Backman, Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, Sleeping Giants by Sylvia Nouvelle, and Avenged by Amy Tintera. So we're going to put some treats on these and see what she chooses. Yeah, let's go. So the treats are on them, and she hasn't noticed that I have treats yet, so let's shake the box a little bit. Come here. Here, look, right here. Eat that one. Let's see if she finds them. They're right in front of you. You're on the book. They're on the books, honey. I don't want to point to one because then she'll go to that specific one. When she... Oh! Which one she's gonna choose? Which one's she gonna go for? Are you gonna find it? You've literally gone over it about 5 times. And that's the one it is Layer Dreams by Libba Bray. Okay, so the book that baby chose for me is Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. So this is the second book in the Diviners series. The Diviners book was an amazing book for me. I loved it. It follows a girl named Evie, and it's set in 1920s New York, and she just wants to be a flapper girl, and she's sent to live with her uncle because she's kind of troublesome for her parents, and she's sent to live with her uncle, and he works, like, he owns the Museum of the Occult, and so it deals with like spirits, and she finds out she has powers, and they form this like team with a bunch of other teenagers, and they have to like solve this mystery, and just, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's filled with spirits, it's kind of spooky, but it's got like the friendship vibes in there, and coming together as a team, and like relationships, and it's a great time. And it's in the Roaring 20s. Who doesn't love flapper girls and all kinds of stuff like that? So it's a great series. I'm excited to pick up book 2 in January. Roll number 5, 4, another double. So we will be doing 7 rolls this month instead of 5, and it is Treat Yourself. And that will be replaced with Jacob Pick. Oh my goodness, this is the TBR of First Times. So for roll number 5, we got a Treat Yourself. So this is the card where I get to go to a bookstore or to Amazon, however I choose to do it, and buy a book off my book list. And I went to my local like retail bookstore, and I got a book, and I was planning on filming it, but I left my camera at home, which was really sad. But yeah, I went and I bought myself a book, so let's get into what that book is. So the book that I purchased for Treat Yourself was Well Met by Jen DeLuca. And I found a Book of the Month version, so that's always fun because then it looks like I got another Book of the Month, even though I really didn't. I bought it at a like upsell resale bookstore, so you know, fun times. So this is a fun little romance about a woman who moves back to her small hometown to help her little sister. But when she moves back, she gets roped into helping at the medieval Renaissance fair. And she is upset about this. She doesn't want to do it, but she does it for the sake of doing it. And she meets a cute guy who's also working there, who gets on her nerves, but she might also like a little. So, you know, fun romance sounds like a great time and a nice break from all the fantasy that we currently have on this TBR. So I'm excited to get to read this one, and I'm also excited to have added it to my collection. And this was also a double number, so we will now have 7 books on this TBR, and hopefully this is the last double, because I don't know how this is going to work, because classes are going to start up again and it's going to go crazy, but we're going to do it because we're going to do it. Roll number 6, 13, lowest rated, so the lowest rated book on my TBR. And that will be replaced with World War II. So the 6th book, which is our first add-on for this TBR, was lowest rated. So what I did for this one is I went on my Goodreads TBR and I ordered it by average rating, and I got the lowest book. So the lowest rated book on my TBR with an average rating of 2.8 stars is After Alice by Gregory Maguire. So I don't really know the summary of this one. I picked it up because I like Alice in Wonderland and the cover is beautiful. It's like this, like almost like baking paper, and then it's beautiful like a map, like a rainbow map on the inside. But I don't really know what it's about, so I'm just going to read you the summary. So it says, down the rabbit hole where adventures await. When Alice toppled down the rabbit hole 150 years ago, she found a wonderland as rife with inconsistent rules and abrasive egos as the world she left behind. But what of that world? How did 1860s Oxford react to Alice's disappearance? In this brilliant new work of fiction, Gregory Maguire turns his dazzling imagination to the question of underworlds, undergrounds, underpinnings, and understandings old and new, offering an inventive spin on Carol's enduring tale. Ada, a friend of Alice's mentioned briefly in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, is off to visit her friend but arrives a moment too late and tumbles down the rabbit hole herself. Ada brings to Wonderland her own imperfect apprehension of cause and effect as she embarks on an odyssey to find Alice and see her safely home from this surreal world below the world. The White Rabbit, the Cheshire Cat, the bloodthirsty Queen of Hearts, droll and imperious as always, interrupt their mad tea party to suggest a conundrum. If Eurydice can ever be returned to the arms of Orpheus, or if Lazarus can be raised from the tomb, perhaps Alice can be reunited to life. In any case, everything that happens next is after Alice. So it sounds like a mysterious, fun time, and although it has a low average rating, I am excited to try it out and see what I think of it in January. And roll number 7, which is hopefully the last, 19. So, first published. So the first published book on my TBR. And for next time, that will be replaced with male character. So a male main character. And the oldest book on my TBR was actually first published on April 23rd of 1993. And that is Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, which is not what this cover says because it is actually both books in this book, and I have read the Alice in Wonderland, like the regular one part of it, and so I'm going to read the second half of this book to read that story. But yeah, this will be a fun little children's story that gets added onto the end of my TBR. Should be a pretty quick, short little read, but I'm excited to get to read it this month. So these are the 7 books that I'm going to be reading in the month of January, so I'm super excited for all of them. This looks like a totally doable stack, so I'm excited for that. Let me know down below if you have read any of these and what you thought of them, as I would love to know. Also, let me know some things you are planning on reading in January, and let me know some of your, like, maybe some goals or resolutions that you're, like, challenging yourself to this year, because those are always fun to talk about. But yeah, as always, I will link all of these books down below in the description. Some of them, like this one, probably won't be this edition because normally I can't find the specific editions, but they will be linked down below, so go check them out if you are interested. And as always, if you liked this video, comment, subscribe, like it, you know, the normal stuff, and I will see all of you with another video soon. Bye!